In our third video about misconceptions in photography, I want to deal with manual exposure. I often read, "You are a bad photographer if you don't use manual exposure." Some people even say, "You are not a photographer at all if you don't use manual exposure." Well, my take on that is, you are a bad photographer if you use manual exposure all the time. Manual exposure is great, and we use it very often, mainly because in the beginning of digital photography, we often found that the other exposure modes didn't create the expected results. That has changed, but we still have that habit of using it most of the time, although it isn't really needed. But while we use manual exposure a lot, we know its limits. There are situations where this exposure mode won't get you the desired results. I will give you an example. You are photographing a wedding. You are in the very dark aisle of a church, walking in front of the couple. From that very dark aisle, you get into the bright sunlight outdoors within 2 to 5 seconds. In that time, your exposure would change from ISO 6400, 1/100th second shutter speed, and f1.4 aperture to ISO 100, 1/3200 second shutter speed, and f2.8 aperture. That would be 18 clicks on your ISO dial, 15 clicks on your shutter speed dial, and 6 clicks on your aperture dial. That would be 41 clicks within 2 to 5 seconds. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 clicks on the ISO dial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 clicks on the shutter speed dial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks on the aperture dial. Even if I'm really quick, that would easily take me 10 seconds. But I only have 2 to 5 seconds. And within those, I might even miss the one or the other shot if I concentrate on dials. So let me make a bold statement. If you use manual exposure mode in this situation while your camera gives you other options like aperture priority or shutter priority, you are not a great photographer. Even if your camera would not give you the best possible exposure in the one or the other modes, it will be pretty close to the desired image brightness. If you use, for example, spot metering on the face of the bride, then you can easily correct that in your editing software. I could think of a few other examples, but I think you get the point. Shooting manual exposure is fine if you are in a controlled environment where the light doesn't change much. But the more the light changes, the better it will be to not use manual exposure. So much for this misconception. Did you know that we have a video that helps you understand what manual exposure is all about? If not, it's just a click away. If this video was helpful for you, please help us rank higher in YouTube searches by subscribing, leaving a comment, or simply spreading the word.